Well, hello there, my beautiful warrior goddesses. How are you all? Today is Tuesday, so it's time for a Tuesday tune-up. So we are going to do some nervous system regulation. We're going to help you to regulate your cortisol. If you're feeling puffy, saggy, tired, broken sleep, always on alert, startling easily, like you're always on edge, like your stomach's in knots, like you're not sleeping well, you're feeling wired even though you should be tired, and you know that the weight that you're carrying is an effect of that, right? I'm just going to take a drink here. So taking my collagen, our Wellness Alchemy Kitchen is going down inside my stories, by the way, if you want to go and check those out on Instagram and Facebook. So today's Tuesday tune-up is a nervous system regulation practice. It's a very short one, and it's also available inside the Consistency Coven. I'm going to do a call to action for you guys of coming and joining and getting a free connection call with me. It's a 15 to 30 minute call, and I'm going to drop the link below. And it's specifically to teach you what's happening or what's going on inside your body right now, but also what armour weight is, because a lot of you have come back and said that you don't even know what that is, so that's fine. What armour weight is, and what nervous system regulation has to do with any of that, right? So armour weight being the weight that just won't budge during perimenopause and beyond, the heaviness that you constantly feel, the aches, the pains, the chronic fatigue, that feel like you're just moving through treacle, right? Or moving through pudding, as somebody described it to me the other day. And these little tiny, teeny, tiny micro habits and micro rituals that you can add into your day help to chip away at helping you to regulate the nervous system. So here's the cool thing about the nervous system regulation is that it's not a one and done, but it is a small practice can have a massive impact. So if you were one of the people who downloaded the restoration audio, you can see just what happens with just a couple of minutes of sound frequency healing and breath work and what that can do. So we're going to start today with working the nervous system and doing some vagal toning exercises. Sounds very fancy. It's just working your vagus nerve, right? Helping you to move away from fight, flight, freeze, and fawn into a parasympathetic state where your body can go into restoration, right? Into a restoration mode, and that moving away from survival mode to restoration mode. Because why? When you're in survival mode, you perceive everything as a threat. You your body holds on to everything, including your fat stores. You are always on alert, which means that you're constantly scanning for things, which can lead to migraines and fatigue and massive amounts of stress and anxiety, tension up here, tightness throughout the whole of the body, and just feeling like shit, right? And so important during perimenopause when estrogen is really severely dropping, especially if you're in stage 2 of perimenopause. I'm going to start breaking down the different stages and what I've noticed with all my research and also with my own experience. But if you're specifically in stage 2, which is where you are getting closer and closer to having a regular period, you're having a lot of symptoms, specifically the hot flashes, etc., and you know that you're getting closer to the day of menopause, which is when you haven't had a period for 1 whole year. These are the things that are happening: the reorganization of the neurotransmitters in your brain, the feeling, the lack of clarity, the not really sure who you are anymore or what's important to you anymore, or this apathy that you have, or that just your give a fucks have just left the building with the estrogen, all of those sorts of things, yeah? So nervous system regulation becomes really important during this time, and I've given you loads of tools in our Tuesday tune-up: EFT tapping, breath work, sound frequencies, because I believe at throwing it all at it, but also I believe that some of us will resonate with some parts and some of us prefer other things. So this one might feel a little too woo-woo for you, but just know it is 100% backed by science. In terms of understanding your vagus nerve, vagal tone, lymphatic drainage, all of these sound frequencies, all of these have now been backed by research to prove to reduce cortisol, which is what we're trying to do here, but also to tone the vagal nerve and help the body to regulate and move between, you know, that survival mode and into the parasympathetic, you know, restoration mode, which is so important because that's when repair happens, that's when your collagen renews itself, that's when you can settle, when you can sleep, when you reduce the pain, you can begin to heal, right? So caveat, we have joined again by the happy dog eating his bone, but this one's not a quiet one, so it doesn't matter today. It's not so good when you're doing the breathwork meditation-y type vibe ones, but this one doesn't matter. Okay, so what are you going to do first of all? I'm going to expose my neck because we're going to work our neck, which is a lot of where the vagus nerve is. But we're going to start by taking a deep breath in and exhale. Feel the shoulders drop. Feel the tension melt away. Let's do one more. And exhale. Alrighty. So you're going to grab your first finger and thumb and you're going to feel, and I'm sorry that I'm on the microphone here, you're going to feel the ropey part of your neck here, okay? Can you feel that ropey part and how it then connects into your neck? So we're going to work that, and I've just noticed that actually having the microphone there might not be so good, so let me move it. Sorry if this is making it scratchy for you. There we go. So you're going to go down here, okay, a few times and just rub along that ropey part of the neck, okay? Then we're going to go down halfway, and then with the finger we're going to do, I don't know, 3 to 4 circles. That sounds about right. And then continue the path. And we're going to do this 3 times. Yeah. Now as you do that, you might start to notice that your body is calming, that your breath is getting deeper, the shoulders are melting, and tension is restored. Nice. And the tension is gone, restoration is stored. Now I'm already feeling calmer just by doing that small little practice on one side. Let's do the other side. So again, fingers, again, I'll try to avoid the microphone. So again, the ropey part of the neck, you can turn your chin slightly to the other side. Hopefully you can see that. You want to do a couple of passes all the way down to the collarbone. This is also good for lymphatic drainage, by the way. You don't want to press too hard. You want to keep it nice, smooth, like treacle, like running honey, you know, smooth. All right, now let's go halfway down, a couple of circles just on the ropey part. Oh, it feels nice. Makes me want to inhale and exhale. A couple of those. One more for luck. And relax. Now this is a great exercise you can do alongside also what we did an ear massage one a couple of weeks ago, but also just taking a V of your fingers and rubbing either side of your ears. Now, for example, this works really well if you feel like you are really stressing out, if you feel like you are going to have a panic attack, if you feel the startings of a panic attack. Another thing that they don't tell you about perimenopause, by the way, the anxiety can get so severe, there's panic attacks, heart palpitations, all of those things, right? So that works really well in the beginning stages of if you feel the anxiety is really rising. This is where a lot of the vagus nerve tone is. So you can just rub in here or do that little ropey thing. Now, also what's really good about this is you can do this in public when nobody can see. So if you find that the ear one was a bit weird or you don't like doing full tapping exercises, which is really good for panic attacks, by the way, you can just take the V and rub it either side. And then just do it on the other side as well. Don't move my hair out of the way. Yeah. So what we're trying to do here is give you tools that help to regulate the nervous system, tune up or tone that vagus nerve, allow your body to be more often in that parasympathetic restoration state rather than the sympathetic, you know, constantly scanning for threats, stress and anxiety through the roof, right? It's giving you tools to help you to move from being stressed to peace, right? So that you know that it's not about avoiding stresses, because there's no such thing, but it's helping you to move away from that and to give you tools that actually work, that only take a few minutes, so that ultimately you can begin the process of nervous system regulation, but also begin to move from chronic fatigue, from burnout, from chronic pain issues, from chronic stress and anxiety that's really affecting you, you know, and that all leads to why you are feeling heavier than you felt before, feeling completely no longer yourself. You look at the mirror and you don't recognize who you are, whether it's your body or your face. This is also going to help us to reverse stress-driven aging, all of the above, okay? So I hope that was helpful today, all about the nervous system regulation tools that you can do for free using your hands for a couple of minutes or less, as part of an overall holistic approach to help you to release that armor weight. We do this through the Wellness Alchemy Triquetra inside the Consistency Coven, which is all about the psychology, the biology, and the spirituality. What we took you through here today is biology, nervous system regulation, reducing cortisol, increasing vagal tone, understanding what's happening with fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, and those reactions that you have in your body, hardwired in. And then we also look at the psychology from limiting beliefs, the stories that you tell yourself, the blocks or the self-sabotaging patterns that you have, which we do through our warrior goddess archetypes. And then through the spirituality part, which is everything from healing the witch wound and that inherited ancestral armor weight that we have around speaking up as women, being powerful women. There's so much in there, ladies, seriously. And then also through connecting with the rhythms and cycles of nature, of kind of going back to a more ancestral rhythm of what works for our circadian rhythms, our infradian rhythms, seasons, cycles, and understanding what's going on for us and connecting with ourselves in that way. And through sisterhood and through connecting with some really cool tools that can help you to do that, everything from divination. We also look at our different chakras and our energy cycles and all of this cool stuff. So if you want to find out more, if you want to book in that connection call with me, literally 15 to 30 minutes, completely shift a lot for you right now where you're at. I'm going to drop the link below. We're going to teach you a little bit about what armor weight is. I will be telling you about the Consistency Coven, and it's just to help you to understand that there is a different way for you to go through this transition in midlife, not just looking at the biology and the weight gain and the hormones, but also the psychology and spirituality elements that happen during this phase of life, and how we can do it feeling more us and have that midlife reawakening, and find out who we are now. So I hope that was interesting for you. I'll drop the link below and I'll be back next week. So don't forget to check out the Wellness Alchemy Kitchen inside my stories today. And this was your Tuesday tune-up. I'll see you next week. Don't forget the podcast also drops this Thursday as well.